And when I tell you, my soul aches. I never thought I'd see the day. Jerome has been my personal fan favorite character, him and Leon, since season 1. I never thought I'd see the day when I really just don't like Jerome. I just really never thought I'd see the day. Well, I like Franklin more than I like Jerome. Like, what kind of planet is this? Well, I like Saint more than Jerome, child. Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to my channel. And in this video, I will be recapping episode 4 of the final season of Snowfall. Now, we got a lot going on, child. Look, we got a lot going on. I can't be in no drug game. I'm not about the thug life. I can't be, the DEA. Y'all, it's too much. It's too much pressure. Gustavo be looking like he about to have a freaking hernia or a heart attack or a stroke or something. Y'all, it's too much. So first of all, we know that Leon and Wanda came back from Africa, and I want them to go to hell back to the motherland. They are in the projects, and I was kind of annoyed, like, Leon, baby, can we at least not be living in the projects? Because I don't want y'all to get shot. It's a moment where Leon is in Big D little spot talking to him, and you hear gunshots outside. I'm like, Leon, baby, what if you was walking around outside like bullets ain't got no name, as they say? And then having Wanda here, I'm just like, baby, can Wanda at least be at a hotel? And the situation with Wanda right now, she goes to Sissy's house, and Sissy walks in, she hears a noise, and I immediately feel like it's Wanda, which it was. And Wanda came to get some of her stuff, and she tells Sissy that she don't know how she gonna make it in the projects because it's literally rock everywhere. And that's when Sissy pretty much tells her that when Alton stopped drinking, he had to find something to focus his energy on, which was the shelter. And Wanda ends up telling Leon that she went down to the shelter with Sissy to help, and it made her feel good. And I just pray that Wanda can stay clean and on the right freaking track. I'm just and it kind of made me mad with Leon. Like, if you're a recovering addict, you can't be around that stuff. Even if it's like an alcoholic who's recovering, you can't just be at a celebration and niggas is just cheering with, champagne and taking shots like you, especially when you think about the time that you've been sober, when it hasn't been that long, which maybe even if it's been 10 years, you may still have a hard time being around it. But I feel like it's way too fresh. It's like when Chris Rock was in New Jack City and was working undercover. It was too soon. You just got off that stuff. There's too much temptation. It's making me mad. Now, the big situation that's going on with Leon is him and Big D. And I'm feeling a little scared because I feel like Big D is kind of one of those, I want to say shiesty type people who don't have no real moral code or no real code of the streets. You know what I mean? No honor amongst thieves, so to speak. Now, Leon first comes across Einstein. Einstein is running like 3 hours late to school or something like that. And he's talking to Einstein about college. And he kind of been a little willy-nilly. Like, I don't think college for me. And Leon is pretty much like, college ain't for everybody, but if it's for anybody, it's for you. And he's asking him, what is his guidance counselor saying? And please tell me why the guidance counselor is talking about community college, which ain't nothing wrong with community college, but Einstein is like a freaking genius. So we end up seeing Einstein in there counting the money and doing the thing he does for Big D, but he's also looking at this application. And I feel like this is a moment for Einstein where he's starting to realize who truly, like, for real cares about him. Because when it came to Leon, he's all for Einstein going to college and, doing better things and getting out of the projects. But Big D comes in and he kind of scoffs at it, like, what did you going to school for? And, he gives him a whole, big thing of money, like, consider this like a little bonus for all your hard work. Pretty much an incentive to keep Einstein here working for him and not going to school to better himself. And a thing that's going on is all the street lights at the playground have been shot out because Big D wants it dark and undercover for his, little guys out there. And Leon comes comes to him like, yo, we need to put the street lights back. And Big D is just like, nah, I'm keeping them off. And it turned out Big D was like, what Malcolm X wanted, something like that, called Leon Malcolm X. I'm just like, child. Now we end up seeing Leon with this maintenance man out there fixing the street lights, even though it's going against what Big D wanted. And child, all I was thinking was, Leon, you about to get you and the maintenance man killed. So of course, we end up, now we see, before he fixed the street lights, we see Leon sitting outside kind of glaring at Big D, and I'm just like, Leon, don't do that. I just be feeling like, I don't want you to get shot. And Wanda comes over when he's out there, and she's talking to him about what she did at the shelter, and they are over there freaking clowning Wanda, and it was hurting my spirit so bad. I'm like, Wanda don't deserve this, man. Wanda don't deserve this. And it just making me mad at Leon, like, why you got her around this? She don't need to be around this. So Leon starts kind of talking like he having kind of regrets or second thoughts about them coming here. He's like, he wanted to come here and like talk some sense into them and talk to them, but he realizing now that it's all just talking. I'm thinking, great. Does this mean y'all about to get on the next flight back to Africa? And this is when we see him getting the street lights fixed. And this is when Big D ends up coming out to shoot the lights out again. And Leon comes out there ready to fight. And Big D is like, oh, this what you want? This what you want to do, bro? So they end up fighting. And all I could think, I was just really feeling like, I'm sure Big D is not, I just feel like he's not the type to fight fair. I feel like he gonna throw dirt in your eyes something, or take his gun out while y'all supposed to be fist fighting. Like, I don't know if he really gonna square up, but he did. He ain't pulled out nothing. And Leon ended up beating Debo down. He ended up knocking out Debo, and the hood was happy. And I feel like they were probably happier when Leon was running things, because Leon actually cared about, you know, the community and stuff like that. He wasn't out there messing up the playground for the kids. So I worry though, because I feel like everybody gonna just follow the leader. It's like if you beat the king and you become the king, right? So I don't think it's gonna be like the gang gonna be against Leon for beating Dion. That was a fair fight, and Leon won, and I feel like they're just gonna fall in line with Leon. But I am worried about Big D coming back for Get Back. Now, either doing something to Wanda, because I feel like, you know how in movies when somebody be clean and then people be mad because you clean, because they like real evil type of villains, and they like hold you down and like put the drugs in your arm. But, well, wait, they be smoking the crack down, and I don't know, y'all, but I don't know. I just got a bad feeling they finna do something terrible to get back at Leon. Either do something to Wanda, get her back hooked on something, or shoot her, or shoot Leon. I'm just scared. I'm just real scared. Now, as much as Leon was the MVP of this episode, the other MVP was Mr. Saint, because Baby was giving it to me this episode. Now, we see, you know, we got this whole thing going on with V and her mom trying to trace Franklin's $70 million that was stolen from him. They end up being able to track down the guy that Teddy used, and they do this whole thing where they pretending to be like law enforcement and got the secretary thinking her boss doing illegal stuff, which he is doing illegal stuff, and they are able to get her to get them the evidence that they need. Y'all, when I tell you Baby's bringing to Franklin, and Franklin is just like, they pretty much tell him, we got, you know, a paper trail of where the money went, but it ended up being like a withdrawal or something like that, and Teddy got the money, and we don't know nothing till we get to Teddy. But when I tell you, Saint was upset. He was like, why is y'all telling me stuff I already know? We done been going through all this and spending all this time. I thought you said we had to find a middleman. I been knew I needed to get Teddy to get my money, so why is you telling me what I already know? What you gonna tell me next? That the sun is hot, that water's getting wet? He went the hell off on them. And the mom wasn't having it. She was kind of upset. She was like, what you need to be saying is thank you. And then she tells him it's another situation that they got lined up. They're supposed to be getting on the plane tomorrow. But she like, the way I'm feeling after this, I ain't even very motivated. So Franklin like, oh, well, how about you think about that $7 million you supposed to be getting from this? Does that motivate you? Y'all, Franklin was on 10. But as much as I don't trust V mama, I kind of agree with her. She was like, you got to know how to keep your cool in this stuff. Franklin flying off there. I'm like, baby, you, come on now. You know what V told you. If you going to trust V, she told you that her mama scam artist, like top tier. This is what she got a PhD in this scamming is. She know what she doing. Do you want your money or not? It ain't nothing you could do to find it. Are you going to go get Teddy, baby? So V ends up talking to Franklin like my mama was literally on the verge of walking. I convinced her otherwise. We're going to go down, I think, to Miami. And Franklin wants to go. But V is just like, no, I think it's best for everybody if you just stay here. So Franklin is also feeling like he not getting enough money coming in. He needs Kane to be moving more. Franklin goes to have a conversation with Kane about how he needs to be moving more, making more money. And Kane starts off with kind of an attitude. But Franklin's just like, I built an empire. And if you don't want to know how I did it, all right, peace out. But Candace like, hold on. And he pretty much tells his guy to take Franklin to the little cookhouse and tell them that he sent Franklin there to, you know, kind of whip everything into shape. Baby, when I tell you, Franklin walking there real cool, not boisterous, you know, not acting crazy. And they pretty much kind of, well, one guy kind of is disrespecting Franklin. Franklin coming there trying to get stuff together and telling them how it needs to go down. And oh boy, I think his name was Todd. It's just like, bro, I cook. This my spot. I don't care who you is. I know who you are. I know you saying. I don't care. I'm gonna cook and all this other little stuff. He started just running his mouth. Baby, when I tell you, Franklin knocked this nigga down. He takes the pot off the hot burner and puts the man ooh, y'all, I felt like my cheek was stinging. He puts his face on the hot burner. He like, cook, nigga, you want to cook then, nigga? Yo, I really like Franklin this episode. Like, he was just doing it. So the guy Todd, who face gets burnt, goes crying to he ain't really cry, but you know, he go whining to Kane, and Kane is just like, I see him in there to fix what you supposed to be running and messing up. And he pretty much portrays it like he ain't really finna do nothing about it. He tell Todd to get the fuck out of there. He does end up though kind of going in and kind of like, you know, unhappy with Saint about the whole situation. He like, I discipline my men, you don't. But Todd ended up so disgruntled and upset that like a little snake, he goes over to Louie and Jerome. And he like, F Kane, as a matter of fact, F your nephew. I know what Kane is at. Because they don't know, you know, the house he hold up in, his whereabouts. And of course, they got a 2-for-1 deal. They got Kane and Franklin at the spot together, and that's when they just start shooting like a drive-by. Kane and Franklin crawling across the floor trying to get to the bathroom because Kane has some guns in there. But bro, like, they ain't just shooting outside, they like coming in, and that's when Franklin like, time so they end up dipping out the back door. And I was kind of worried because I'm like, well, if I'm shooting somebody up, I'm going to presume they're going to run out the back door. So I'm thinking somebody going to be back there, but wasn't nobody back there except Kane folk pulled up in the car and they jumped in and took off. And I'm just like, they was having this little disagreement, and Kane was like, just because we doing business, don't think we buddies, but baby, y'all buddies now. Y'all gonna have to be. Like, y'all need this alliance. And when I tell you, my soul aches. I never thought I'd see the day. Jerome has been my personal fan favorite character, him and Leon, since season 1. I was never really a big like fan of Franklin. Like, I like him just fine, the character, you know, amongst the whole show. But my fan favorite folks was always Jerome and Leon, period. I never thought I'd see the day when I really just don't like Jerome. It's making me so angry seeing him like this. But I also just feel like it really just feels, I want to say contrived for them to just create this little family war, because I just really don't see Jerome carrying on like this. But I guess it's just too far gone now. Like, Franklin done try to have them killed, they done try to have Franklin killed, and I guess it's just way, you know, too far gone at this point. But I just really never thought I'd see the day. Well, I like Franklin more than I like Jerome. Like, what kind of planet is this? Well, I like Saint more than Jerome, child. Of course, the ultimate person that I need to get their comeuppance is Teddy. And I mean, I need something horrible, terrible, horrific to happen to Teddy. I'm talking about some Scarface type ish. I need Teddy to get his comeuppance. But the other folk that I really need to have something real dirty happen to them is Jerome and Louis. But I would like Jerome to not suffer because I do still have a soft spot for him. I need him to get taken out, but I need him to not suffer. Louis could suffer. Now, speaking of Teddy, oh, I cannot stand Teddy. Teddy and his girl are together having this conversation about the Russian and the information that Teddy got. And I'm sorry, baby, you're going to have to be guilty by association. I need something real nasty to happen to this girl because Teddy seems to be really fond of her. So I need something terrible to happen to her just so it could, hit him and hurt him. I'm sorry, baby, but you got to go down with the ship. You got to be careful who you associate with. Now, she ends up telling Teddy, how about you just take that $70 million and leave the country? And I said, like, bitch, Franklin money? Like, that ain't his money? Oh, y'all, is Franklin gonna ever get his money? Is Franklin going to ever get his money? That is the $1 million question. That is the $70 million question. Now, Teddy, of course, is on edge. I mean, he's CIA. I just feel like he's an agent. They just always everybody gonna be a suspect to them. But he has a conversation with Gustavo. And as Gustavo is leaving, I feel like Teddy was looking at him real funny. Like, I'm talking about real funny. Like, so we end up seeing Oso go home. His girl is upset. He pretty much gets out. He goes to this bar. And who is there but a KGB guy sitting next to him? And I just kept thinking, Oso, look at him. That's the sketch, bruh. But also kind of not even looking over there, but they conversing. But then that's when, oh boy, it starts dropping the DEA, the CIA, and all them other acronyms. And that's when Oso perks up and looks over at him. And he pretty much tries to give Oso a deal because the whole shipment thing went awry like he told them it would, but they wouldn't listen to him. So now he's like, I feel like we need to move away from Sissy and Franklin and we need to go over to Oso because he is the closest with Teddy. He knows what's actually going on. He's over there working with Teddy. So he's trying to get Oso on his side, which no answer is given. He just approaches him. But baby, who is outside? Who is outside the bar that Oso is in? Teddy. And he sees the sketch walking out the bar. And I'm just like, God damn. I really feel like this is Oso dead. Unless Oso immediately contacts Teddy to say, that sketch you gave me, he approached me at the bar. Because that'll make it not suspicious. But the fact that Teddy just saw him leave out of there, he's not going to think, oh, this is just Oso's first time meeting him. He going to think they in cahoots together. And that is going to be real bad for Oso. Now, on the other hand, the DEA is planning on raiding a warehouse the next day. And I really don't know how this is going to go down because Oso ain't tell the DEA nothing about the KGB guy that approached him, even though he don't know the guy KGB. But he didn't say anything about getting approached. So I don't know how Oso plan on playing this. All I know is Oso is another character that I really like, and I don't want nothing bad to happen to him. Like, and I just feel like I'm so sick of Teddy winning. If he is able to take out Oso, I'm gonna be so upset. Like, I don't even know what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be so mad because I'm really not gonna like that. This is all about to come to a head. I'm ready to see what's finna go down with V and her mama in Miami. What exactly the scam is, what exactly the game is. Because I could be wrong, but I don't trust V mama. And I really feel like something about V been off for me since the get, but I trust V only because she pregnant with Franklin baby. And I don't think she gonna do nothing against him when she got his dang child inside her. But her mama is a whole nother story. I don't trust mama. This whole wanting her daughter in her life and her grandchild and 70 million is way more than 7 million and she's a scammer. So I don't know, something up with this whole thing. I think she might be able to track down the money. She might even be able to get to Teddy, but is she going to turn this stuff over to Franklin or is she going to disappear and skip out like Peaches did? Who is finna win the war between Franklin and his uncle and aunt? I'm betting on Franklin. I think Franklin gonna win the war between them. But who gonna win the war between DEA versus KGB versus Teddy? Or KGB versus Teddy versus DEA versus Teddy? DEA about to raid the warehouse the next day. But I'm pretty sure ain't not gonna be in there because Teddy just saw also with the sketch. So I don't know how all this is finna play out, but I'm honestly kind of feel like I'm anxious and ready to see it end just because I'm just ready to be able to breathe again. And I'm just ready to know how it's going to end. I'm not going to be able to breathe until the series ends and Wanda and Leon gets to sail off into the sunset. But it ain't looking like they ever going back to Africa because Leon done took out the leader of the projects, and that's making me feel like he about to go back into that spot. And I don't want them in the projects. I feel like, because what is he gonna be doing exactly? He ain't gonna want to be selling nothing, illegal substances. So how is that going to bode well for the folks around there that's addicts and the folks around there that's how they make money? And if all that's going on in the projects, like Wanda said, how is she going to fare being around that? Thank you so much for watching this video, for supporting the channel. Let me know your thoughts so far. Who do you think is going to win the war? The ultimate war in the end. I really feel like ultimately in the end, Franklin gonna win the war above all, but it's just gonna be him by his lonesome and everybody gonna be But who do you think is going to win the war between Franklin and his aunt and uncle? Nobody wins when the family feuds. And who gonna get Teddy? Let me tell you something, child. If the DEA and the KGB lose and Teddy is able to beat every motherfucker, I'm gonna be mad. I'm gonna have to find the actor that played Teddy and I'm gonna have to slap fire out of him. Like, you gotta just... I'm just playing. But man, y'all, like, I feel like, when was the last time I could not stand a character this much? I don't know. It's been a while. And the person that's popping in my head is Lori from Walking Dead, Lori and Carl. That might be on the level of how much I can't stand Teddy. Because, man, but yeah, I don't like him. Thank you so much. I'll see you in the next one.